Hello. So the way I'm going to structure this talk is just I'm going to introduce the research topic in general first, and then at the end I'll talk to you a little bit more about my involvement and how it's quite an interesting story as to how this all came about. Basically, I work for with a group called Just Milk, and our primary research topic is looking at ways to prevent HIV transmission in breastfeeding. So to give you some very quick stats, you're looking at nearly 500,000 infants getting HIV a year. There were 430,000 in 2008, and the majority of them live in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, 90% of those infections are coming from their mothers. Now, without intervention, i.e. using antiretroviral drugs and not breastfeeding, you're looking at somewhere between 20 to 45% of a child contracting HIV from their mother. 1 in 3 of them is going to come from breastfeeding. So basically, there are guidelines as to how to avoid this. Firstly, I'm going to focus on the breastfeeding side of this. You're looking at around 200,000 children a year who are contracting HIV from their mothers. Now, what the WHO says, World Health Organization, is basically you shouldn't breastfeed if you're HIV positive if there's a safe alternative. So a possible safe alternative, obviously, is to use formula. But what's been shown is basically in these low-resource settings where mothers have HIV, their child is often more likely to die from actually malnutrition or diarrhea and dirty water mixed with their formula than if they just solely breastfed with their mother. Also, more recently, the World Health Organization has advised the use of antiretrovirals with the mother and the child. And basically, what these studies have shown is that you can greatly reduce the chance of transmission in breastfeeding if you give these drugs to the mother and child during the period of breastfeeding. However, the studies have shown that there are also possibilities of issues such as the mother contracting drug resistance to certain antiretrovirals, and also there's safety issues for the child. So there's still a need, there's still a space, and this is a space for a technology to try and help prevent transmission in breastfeeding. And that's what our group are basically looking at. Something that's practical, something that's cheap. And what we came up with as a group around 2 years ago was the concept of a nipple shield. Basically, this is a technology which is used extensively in developed countries where a mother wears a nipple shield in order to aid the breastfeeding process. She might use it if she has a damaged nipple or an inverted nipple. And basically, we've just added a step to this technology where you would place some form of pad which contains a microbicidal compound which is known to inactivate HIV in breast milk. So it's very simple and it's very cheap. To give you some possible advantages of this technology, firstly, the nipple shield is a well-accepted product. It's been used extensively for tens of years, and the technology is well developed. Also, it's low cost. The sort of price you're looking at for a mother to use this would be maybe a couple of dollars to buy the nipple shield, and the actual pads which would contain some compound which would kill the HIV, you're talking pennies a day. Now, this is significantly cheaper than antiretroviral use. Also, the nipple shield is reusable. You wouldn't have to get one of these every week. Basically, you would hope you'd be able to use it for months, at least weeks on end. Now, as a group, we also have acceptability studies being conducted where we're interviewing mothers, HIV-positive mothers, health workers around Africa, and the general response has been at the very least mixed, at the very most very positive. Now, it's obvious that there are issues that, with stigma. If a mother is using one of these devices, it could identify her as HIV positive. But even in those circumstances, you can't just characterize a continent as one place. Like, depending on the community, some places this would be a lot more well accepted than others. There are also other potential administrations of this device. For example, you could deliver antibiotics, vitamins, minerals, compounds which basically might be normally administered to a child as a syrup, but now can be dried onto a pad, and it may increase the shelf life of these drugs. Also, there's the concept that basically, if this device was marketed as a health product rather than an anti-HIV product, this could reduce the potential stigma that would go with using it. That, you know, oh, I'm using this, it's helping my baby. Oh, and by the way, it also prevents the transmission of HIV. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the science of this very briefly, because I know you're engineers. Firstly, just to talk to you about the primary compound which we've been looking at. It's called sodium dodecyl sulfate, and as long as you brush your teeth or wash your hair, you've probably had it in your mouth possibly every single day of your life. And basically, it's very cheap. And it's also been shown to inactivate HIV in breast milk at very low concentrations. And also, it's non-toxic. There have been extensive studies in terms of its toxicology because you use it in toothpaste and other cosmetic products. So we know it's safe. Also, a great advantage of this compound is it's been mixed with breast milk and shown to maintain the nutritional and the immunological benefits of the milk. So now I'm going to talk to you about the current research which is going on. It's work that's being conducted primarily at Cambridge, where I'm based right now, Cambridge University, but it's getting support from institutions in the US as well. So what I'm looking at is basically, if a mother is feeding her baby with one of these devices, and the milk is going through one of these little pads in the nipple shield, she wants the compound, which is going to kill the HIV, to come out at set concentration, the concentration that you know kills HIV. If it's too low, then it may be ineffective. If it's too high, it might start to make the milk taste pretty bad. Okay, so the initial results, just to explain how the research is going, maybe 9 months ago when I started this work, we were getting something like this. We were getting a very low release rate of this compound, and it was shown to be ineffective. Basically, the development of the research is now, it's somewhere like this, so it's getting there. To give you an idea of what a product could potentially look like, this is it. One possible model would be a mother is identified as HIV positive in a clinic. When she gives birth, she's given a box which contains 1 or 2 of these nipple shields and a set of blister packs with the compound with this little pad inside it. The mother would then, whenever she breastfeeds, just pop the pad out, put it in the nipple shield, and feed her baby. So the future. What's going to go on in the next year or so is that once this formulation has been developed further, we're going to look at passing HIV spiked milk through one of these nipple shields and look at the inactivation, because you have, and then the next point after that, if it's shown to work, would be clinical trials. Also, further product development. There's a number of possible branches you could go with this. Firstly, the compound that I showed you, there's lots of other compounds, microbicides, which are known to work, and they have different mechanisms of action against HIV. So possibly if you mixed 2 different compounds that have different abilities to inactivate HIV, it might increase the deactivation of it. Also, there's ideas that we're looking at, suppose a color change system. So once the little insert has run out, the mother knows to take it out and put in a new one. And thirdly, one of the most important factors of this project is that we have to look at the way that it would be distributed and accepted by communities, because this is vital in order to be able to disseminate the project technology into sub-Saharan Africa. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about briefly is how this project came about and how I'm involved with it as well. We've already heard a talk from Amy Smith, who's a professor at MIT who works a lot in international development. And she's also one of the founders of the International Design Development Summit, where basically it's held annually in different locations. It started in MIT, then it's gone to Ghana, and then it's going to Colorado this year. But basically the idea behind it is that they take somewhere between 50 and 100 participants from 20 to 30 countries from around the world. And these people are not solely students or academics. You definitely get student involvement, but also, they take welders from Ghana, builders from Honduras. You literally have people from all walks of life and from all parts of the product development. And what happens is you would see that these groups of people get put in teams of 6, and you're set a design challenge. When I was there 2 years ago, I was put in a team of 6, and we were given a design challenge of looking at HIV inactivation in breastfeeding and a practical method of having to achieve this. And so this is where this product came about. There was a team of 6 of us, and we came up with the idea. Now, to talk about the success, our group, which is called Just Milk, since we were founded 2 years ago, we've raised around $200,000 in funding. This has come from the Gates Foundation, Cambridge University, which is where I'm based, have given me funding to do a PhD there for the next 3.5 years. And the public health charity, Family Health International, have also had very, very large involvement with the project and supporting the patent and have experts working with me. Another important factor to this project is Engineers Without Borders, which without them, the progress may not have been as great, because basically I came back from this conference 2 years ago, and I met up with a couple of individuals with Engineers Without Borders, and they published an article on the work. This was picked up by the BBC, and basically the concept of the device and the idea spread very, very rapidly that way, which gave it a lot of publicity and a lot more acceptance in terms of going for grant applications. So to give you a brief idea of the progression of the project, in 2008 our team was formed. By July that year we'd developed the concept and put in a provisional patent. 2008 I went back to Cambridge University and was excited. A couple of professors there, and they gave me lab work. They gave me a laboratory to do the work in. I did a master's project that year looking at recycling toothpaste tubes, but by March the following year, the Gates Foundation had given us $100,000. April, the Cambridge University had offered me funding to do a PhD on the project. By September 2009, this public health charity, Family Health International, had received funding and a firm commitment to work with us. 2009, we basically gave our patent rights to them, and they submitted it for us and are paying for it. By March 2010, just recently, Berkeley University have agreed provisionally to help with virological testing as well. So this project is definitely taking off. 6 months ago, Bill Gates came to Cambridge, and I had a chat with him about it for 15 minutes. So this project's been, serious people are interested in it. So this is how it started: 6 people, and 2 years on, you've got this many people and this many organizations working on it. It's been a really great success story, and I sincerely hope within the next 5 to 10 years everyone will have heard about this. So thank you very much.